we've been getting you ready for the Flow Ladyboss retreat, and this morning we're joined by some amazing people. I'm really excited to meet President and co-founder Laura Caroon, plus Mariah Prussia, who will be leading a self-defense seminar at the event and also today. So I stretched a little bit during the break because I'm excited for this. So let's start out with you. Now I know that you've been on the show before. People kind of got to know you a little bit, but can you tell us a little bit more about the professional development side of this and how are people going to come out of this event?
Absolutely. We have a really killer lineup of speakers that'll be coming to talk about confidence and how we can be present in a room and command a room. We've got people who are talking about getting the barriers out of our way and building each other up. That's going to be a huge piece of this event. So connecting, building those professional and personal connections with other amazing women from all across the region.
That's fantastic. And I will say one of the things I got out of your website was that it is so important, in addition to, building yourself up professionally and having a strong, confidence in where you are in your work, but you really need to take time for self-care and self-reflection and understanding where you are as a person. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're incorporating that into this seminar?
Absolutely, yes, because self-care and personal care is so important to who you are as a whole person, and you as a person needs to be feeling good and have a good mindset and feel good in your body in order for you to be successful in business. You can't pour from an empty cup. So we got to work on filling our own cups as well, especially as we're all, trying to come out of 2 years of isolation and for some people illness and things like that.
And there are a lot of women who are watching today probably that stay home with their families, and a lot of this still does resonate to that because you need to be able to take time for yourself and have that care and have that confidence that what you're doing is the best thing for you. But then also in the workplace, there are a lot of challenges with trying to have that confidence when you're facing a lot of adversity, or women always say that it's nice to have the support of other women, but you also find sometimes in the workplace that there can be some adversity, like some challenges between women. It's a competitive environment. So I know you guys have a lot of great information for that, and I will tell you one thing I'm excited about is the self-defense aspect. So I took a quick self-defense course this summer, and what I learned was you have an amazing amount of confidence in your personal safety, and that resonates to other parts of your life. So I'm really excited kind of to hear about that. I will say, if you want to learn about the event, you can go to ladybossmidwest.com. It's on March 3rd through 5th, and it's at Grandview Lodge, which is amazing. So, Mariah, you're the owner of MPX Fitness, you're a personal trainer. How does self-defense help somebody in their everyday life besides those unique circumstances where you actually have to use that?
Self-defense is great in regards to confidence. The more that you know about yourself and the more tools that you have, so whether it's in self-protection or personal development, professional development, you have to have tools in the toolbox to make sure that you're prepared for anything in life. So if you don't have certain skills, then it's really important that we look at how do we strengthen those things and dive into those pieces. So, as we can all say right now, the world is changing. It has significantly changed in the last, couple of years or last 10 years. So it's really important to understand situational awareness. First and foremost, that's the first line of protection. Then you go into, again, it's boundary setting. If somebody now you identify the threat, they're coming towards you, what is the next thing that you do? And then if it gets into a physical confrontation, then you have to make sure that you're able to transition hand and wrist control or other components that would come into play, because every single scenario is going to be different.
And I will say that when we were preparing for this, one of the conversations that we had was, can you wear something comfortable, right? Because we're going to do a little self demonstration. And the reality is, a lot of times, especially for some of us, we're not just in comfortable clothes out on the street. Sometimes I might be wearing this and someone comes up. So I would love for you to show me a few things, if that's okay.
Absolutely, and you're correct that you're not just dressed for comfort when you're going out. We're going to start with basically just hand and wrist control. So if you imagine 4 legs of a table,
okay,
your 2 arms and your 2 legs are now that of a table. If you take one of those legs of the table away, now you're taking potentially a weapon away. I'm not talking about a gun, or I'm not talking about a knife. If that's a scenario, you run. You get out of there as fast as you possibly can. But if you were to grab my wrists, right? So with both of them, yep, grab hard. You can grab hard on me. Yep. So if we're grabbing here, a lot of people aren't even quite sure how to transition out of this. So I want my hands free so I can protect myself. So it's not circling out, it's actually circling on the inside where the opening of the hand opens. That's the weak part of the grip. So all I'm going to do is be circling on the inside, transitioning. Now I have wrist control on you as you circle on the inside. Yep, so take one hand at a time, circle and grab, circle and grab. So we start with basic wrist control, transitioning. And then what we would do is from this, now what do I do? The key thing from this is not to reach up and extend. A lot of people feel,
that would have been my instinct.
I'm going to reach, I'm going to pull up. But now if you reach and pull straight up, your body is open.
Oh, smart.
So like what I said, so many different components, so many different moving pieces. So we go through wrist control, we go through the grabbing. If you were to basically grab my shirt, not the mic, right? If you rip my shirt, I guess you rip my shirt, hey, we'll go live with it.
Right.
I'm instantly going to wrist control here. I'm grabbing here so that I have some type of control. At that point, I'm basically just stepping back here, still maintaining wrist control. At that point, I can transition to other pieces of the puzzle that can fall into place.
And what I love about this too is it's something everybody can do. Like even if you have physical limitations, there's an element of this you can absolutely do. And one thing that I've heard, and I'm sure that you would say the same thing too, is practices. Whether you're doing it in your head or you're doing it with somebody, just do it so that if the situation comes up, this is something that you just do. You don't even think about it. You're not in your head thinking, I need to have wrist control. Like, you just do it.
It's muscle memory. And the thing is with the seminars, usually they're 4 hours long, but like you're talking about repetition. If you don't practice things, just like if you're learning a foreign language, you have to speak it, otherwise you end up losing it. So same with self-defense. And there's always more pieces of the puzzle that you can add in. So it's not a one-size-fits-all. There's things that you can do, but at the same point we have to recognize that if an individual is 9 years old, there's some things that they may not be able to do compared to a female who's 40 and might be in the best shape of their life, you know, with a male, you know, if they're facing a male. So the key is continuing education. There's a lot of different things that you can learn. We do different things from standing, striking, boundary setting. One of the big things is the boundary setting that we do. I have a male assailant come in, and now you have to utilize your voice and de-escalation tools prior to getting to the point of physical confrontation.
Isn't that interesting? Because I feel like a lot of us are so used to trying to be calmer with our voice and trying to be more subtle, and then this is a situation where you're like, no, now I have to
use your voice.
Be loud, yeah.
So it's not adding fuel to the fire. Sometimes people will come off spicy, which then, in return, then that person is going to come back even harder. So it's learning how do I take this situation down? How do I defer them? And I think this is the largest challenge, especially for women, is utilizing their voice. Midwest, we're taught to be nice. We have to be nice to everyone. If somebody is going and crossing a boundary or a line, at that point you really have to be firm in what you're looking for and in that direction.
Wow. What awesome information. And of course, you can get all of this online as well at ladybossmidwest.com. Again, that's March 3rd through 5th. You can register online now. They have the prices online. They have the whole itinerary of the event. So make sure that you get in there and check that out and register, because obviously it's going to be an incredible event. Now, coming up on today's show, a local business is getting kids involved with music at a young age, and we're heading to Elevate Rock School next.